Oh, we'll leave at 5 this morning. They had this pool out there in Colorado is right in the middle of a golf course, a PGA golf course, and it was a huge event. They had 3,200 there on Friday night. They had over 13,000 there. Is that what the number was? It was over 13,000 yesterday. Wow.
How are you, Jason?
Good, Greg. How are you, buddy? This is the Nebraska. This is the Nebraska State Fair. I wanted to show some of this.
Yes.
We'll watch this last one run, and then we'll flip it off. I'll fast forward a second. I want to show that one. I haven't made our video yet for Live with Lussetto, Greg. So I thought I'd show the Outlaw video. So.
Oh, no worries. We also need to get more footage, which will be coming this year as well.
Yeah. Ron Stone, Lussetto, and his co-host.
Oh man,
you got the thing. Ron's the host, and I'm the co-host, so it's all funny.
Oh, it was. Yeah, I'm.
Will my dog be Russ Dostal wants to know if my dog will be making an appearance tonight. So I was on a Zoom call this afternoon. I was working from home today at my home office, and my dog's barking, and somebody said on the Zoom call, let me see your dog. So I picked Logan up, and then they screenshot it, emailed it to me. It was kind of funny. So welcome, everybody. It's April 26th. My name is Jason Schultz. I'm the co-host of Live with Lussetto, Greg Lussetto, who runs the Outlaw Heartland division of the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. Welcome, Greg. We do have Janelle in the green room as well. We're going to bring her on about quarter after to talk about her tractor. She, you can read rolling across the bottom. Lussetto said that she been pulling antiques pretty much her whole life and recently bought a tractor to pull with the Heartland region. So I'm excited for that as well. So, Greg, we kind of want to go over the 2023 season, correct?
Yes. We'd like to get started. We missed that last time. I think we
tend to talk too much. Too much.
Yes, we do.
If you're watching, let us know where you're watching from. It's always fun to kind of see from all over the country where people are watching from tonight. If you have any questions for Greg, type them in the comments, and I'll if they're good questions, I'll put them on the screen. If they're not, I'm just going to ignore them. So
Jason, I got one other thing I want to clarify. You can watch this on several different platforms as well as with the Ron Stone one as well, too, correct?
Yeah, so like when we do Outlawed with Ron Stone and live with Greg, live with Lussetto, we're live on YouTube right now. We're live on Twitter right now. We're live on Facebook right now. We're live on the Outlaw page. We're live on Beer Money. We're live on the Heartland division of the Outlaws. We're live on the Beer Money Polling Team group. We're live on my Twitter page, which is Beer Money Twitter. And then we have 2 YouTube channels, one dedicated to just Let's Grow Polling, Greg. And then,
Yes. Okay.
So if people miss it, they can go back and find it anytime. Also, if they listen to podcasts during the day, I would say within 24 hours or so, this will be uploaded to iTunes and Spotify. Just search for Let's Grow Polling and then just look for Live with Lussetto, and you can listen to that at work.
This is stuff I'm not used to, so it's good so I know as well.
No, it's important that people know that. Ron and I bought the software so we can be live on multiple platforms. Like we're live on Ron Stone's personal Facebook page as well as my personal Facebook page as well. So kind of really spreads it out up a little bit. So
sure,
it's all good. See, Ron. Okay, so watching from St. Edward, Nebraska. Watching from Wheatland, Wyoming. Greg, get Greg's volume up to yours. No, Todd, he just needs to talk louder. Okay.
I need to talk. Oh boy. Okay.
I bought a new mic. Maybe my mic's just a little better, Greg. I'm not sure. So I think
okay.
I think you sound good. I think Derek or I think Todd said that. Todd, just turn it up. Todd, just turn it up. Chester, South Dakota. You are also live on YouTube TV. Yeah, we're live on YouTube TV also. So yeah.
Okay.
Kentucky, Nebraska checking in. So
one thing I'll start with, our schedule this year has grown a fair amount. We've got several new events I'm very excited about. We've kind of held together most of the polls we've had and added some, and working on I was visiting with Ron today about solidifying one in Cherokee, Iowa, which will put us up to 20 events in our regional series.
Nice. I'm trying to pull it up on the Outlaw website, and it's the Heartland schedule isn't popping up.
Yeah, that I can't help you with. I will tell you, I was on the app is where I was getting my stuff, and we do have a couple corrections to make.
Okay.
Because we'll be getting our and it's my hometown polls got the wrong date, if you can imagine that. So we're doing our poll here in Bridgeport during our town celebration, our Camp Clark days, and we're going to go on a Friday night to stay away from some of their big activities and beer garden and street dance and all that stuff. So we're going to go the night before on Friday night.
I like it. Well, you read them slow. I'll type them into the comments. I'll put them on the screen. Okay. So let's start off with the first one.
First one will be Bridgeport, Nebraska, June 2nd. The one we were working on today is Cherokee, Iowa, June 17th.
That's the next one?
Yep. Third poll.
I spelled these wrong, guys. I'm sorry. June 17th.
Hawarden, Iowa, June 23rd. And this will be a deal. We went in there last year with 2 classes of just outlaw classes. This year we're going in with 3 Heartland Region. Well, I take that back. We're going in with 1 Region class and 2 outlaw classes. And they put that in conjunction with one of the best run farm polls I've been around.
Gotcha.
They do a heck of a job there.
I love it.
Ashton, Nebraska, July 1st. It's one of my favorite polls. I'm sure you've seen Kaylee Tuma on here. She's been
honking that one pretty hard.
Man, she does a great job, and a bunch of her family members also. They've been very instrumental in putting that on, and that is one of the best old school polls. Pickups backed up on a side hill, small grandstands, shaded. It's just a great environment.
Has it been going on quite a while?
I've done it with Heartland now for, I believe this is going to be my 4th or 5th season.
Okay.
And then it was sanctioned with some other groups previous to that. And then I actually pulled there with the Nebraska State group in the 90s. So it's been a long time pull.
Okay. Kaylee's checking in. She says, hello.
Yep. The next poll will be Monday, July 10th, Albion, Nebraska. That's a new hook this year. And the interesting deal there, that's going to be a long weekend. We'll see if anybody's still alive. We're going to be in Concord, Nebraska, Thursday night, go to Rock Valley for 3 sessions Friday, Saturday, and we'll have a little bit of Sunday to recuperate and be back at it Monday.
Wow. Yeah, there's always that. I call them Hell Week for the lack of better terms.
Yep.
And it's kind of
Yes.
goofy like that. So,
Yep. And then,
Brian first says Ashton has great facilities. If you guys are plan on attending any of these polls that we're putting up on the screen as we highlight the 2023 Heartland Division schedule, let me know.
yes.
It'd be fun. It's fun to see comments on there and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and then an interesting poll. We go out to Douglas, Wyoming, which is the farthest west we get.
What was it again, Greg?
That is Douglas, Wyoming.
Okay.
And that one there is actually at the Wyoming State Fairgrounds. It's actually at their county. They do a county fair there, and a month later they do the state fair.
What's the date on that one, Douglas, Wyoming?
July 15th.
July 15th. Douglas, Wyoming. Ron Stone said he'll be in Albion.
Yes, he'll be announcing Albion.
Tori Cruz Reardon says we plan on being there, so that's cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Then from Douglas, Wyoming, we Sunday, July 16th, we go to Lexington, Nebraska, which is a new hook.
Now, are most of your Heartland Division polls, Greg, are they part of a fair, or do you have any standalone events like a Rock Valley or a Wisner type of event?
We'll have I'm going to say probably 3 or 4 standalone events, but I tell you what, we hit the county fair thing pretty hard on our level. And then that's where you see some of the off nights because, we will, a lot of times there'll be a big name entertainment Saturday or, different things. And some of them, the bigger fairs we get in on off days.
Whose modified rear end do you have behind you on the lift?
That's mine.
That's yours? Okay. Just checking.
One my daughter pulls or, Zach has been pulling some too. So.
Yep. Okay. I just popped that out. I was like, what is behind Lussetto?
Yeah.
Coolest backdrop ever. That's a cool green screen you got there, Greg.
More work to do. Well, hopefully it's changing next week. July 17th, the following day after Lexington, we go to St. Paul, Nebraska, which I'm very excited about this. I have not personally pulled there since probably the mid to late 90s.
Okay.
And that's been one I've longed to get back to.
St. Paul, Nebraska.
Yep. There was, I'll tell you what, really good diesel super stock come out of there back in the day, a Ron Johnson, John Deere. And that thing actually ended up part of like Velhusen's bits and pieces or somebody, when it went over to Europe after when he sold.
Oh, cool.
Okay. After that, July 21st, we go to Hays, Kansas, another new event. And that's, I'll tell you what, heck of a facility. I visited it on the way down to the Kansas Fair and Festival. They actually have VIP seating that's air conditioned at their circle track.
Awesome.
And I mean, it's got some great potential. And the nice part about even Western Kansas, there's some good dirt out there too.
Yeah, good deal. I'm hoping we can grow into Kansas more. Ron and I were talking about this morning about doing more events next year in Kansas. If you're a promoter, I mean, this is why we have the Heartland Division, so we can satisfy more events, take on more events. Because like Ron's out of Fridays, Saturdays, and Thursdays, and Wednesdays, and Tuesdays.
Well, here's another hard thing: is our schedule's getting full too, and that's something I don't know what we're going to do because
we can bring on more. We can bring on more associations. It's going to be okay.
It needs to happen.
Yeah,
that's a goal. So. Following Hays, we go to North Platte, Nebraska, which that's a very well-established long-time pull as well. The Saturday night.
What's the date on that one?
North Platte.
What's the date on it? Sorry.
Oh, date. Sorry, 22nd.
I had everything prepped up but the schedule, and then I went to the website, and it's not pulling yours up. I'm not sure why. So they might be just working on it.
Okay. Yep. After North Platte, we go to Sydney, Nebraska.
SYD, like Sydney, Australia?
Sydney. Yep. Well, it's SID.
SI, okay.
And that will
and
be
what's
Thursday
the date on
night
that one?
Fair, July 27th.
Thursday, July 27th. Okay.
Then Saturday, July 29th, we go to Goodland, Kansas.
Hey, I know where that is.
And we've had some good track help the last couple of years.
Did my singer help?
Yes, the first year he had broke his stuff, and last year it lived, but there was no pull, so he was there prepping the track, which that was great.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, so is that a pull that Doug's helped you put on, or has it been going on a while, or what's the story on that?
They pulled there for many years, but we've been back in that fair. I think this will be our third season.
Okay, awesome.
So, but Doug helps in the hometown deal.
You got to.
It's nice to have his rake and skid steer and
and knowledge,
track building experience.
Yep, expertise.
Okay, then Wednesday night, August 2nd, we go to Mitchell, Nebraska. This has been one of our best longtime Heartland pulls. They've been with us since the inception of Heartland, which was in 2011. So it's been a long time. They do a great job. They get dang near 2,000 spectators a night that were there. They do a phenomenal job.
Awesome.
Saturday, August 5th, Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Back to Wyoming.
Yep.
Is that okay? So do you pull in that big rodeo arena, that really brand new one, that nice one?
Well, see, we actually we pulled 2 years at Frontier Park, they call it. That's where they do Cheyenne Frontier Days.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
And holy smokes, that thing seats like 30,000 people. I mean,
I got to announce out there in 2016, Greg, for a monster truck show for
really. Skylar.
Yeah, for Live a Little Productions.
Yeah, Skylar and I. But
that was it's okay. Beautiful out there. It's beautiful out there.
It's an amazing place. It looked like we had 10 people in attendance there because it was so big, But no, actually, they actually built a brand new fairgrounds east of town, and it was phenomenal because I've got a great working relationship with that fair board.
Okay.
They literally come to me, and I sat in on a few meetings, and they put together a motorsports section for their new fairgrounds. And
wow,
it was nice because you go around the pulls, it's not you kind of know what you'd like to have, and we put a little smaller version of Rock Valley setup in there, and it's got potential to be a very nice pull.
Nice. Do they pull a pretty good crowd?
It's been decent. It's in that over 1,000, and I mean, I think as it gets a little more known, because it's pulling has not been exactly a hotbed in Wyoming, but it's we're starting to get more competitors from there, and it's
if we can, we talked to Rod Crawford last week about an Arizona event. If you have a hell of a facility, Lussetto, and you can put the purse up to get some of get the diesel supers, the big mods, the pros to travel out there with the Heartland. Run your Heartland on one track and run your Outlaws on another track. That'd be pretty cool.
Ideal, but it's also fitting that in the schedule.
I know. No, I know. I'm just a dreamer.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. But at one other cool thing to add about Cheyenne that, future wise, there's actually a guy that's a partner in one of the, I think, super semis that pulls in NTPA and a few places there from Cheyenne.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've heard the name, but Jeff Siebert, he's frequented Outlaw quite a bit the last 4 or 5 years. That is in Cheyenne as well, too.
Okay. Yeah, I recognize the name. So. And
Lee England's another mod 4x4. They're right in Cheyenne as well.
I've seen him pull at Cowtown Showdown.
Yeah, it's taken a year off here, but.
Yep. That's a 4x4 mod, right?
Yes. Yep.
All right. So what's after Cheyenne? Greg.
This is a rough one because it doesn't involve all of our guys, but I've got to be in Neely, Nebraska, northeast Nebraska the next day.
How do I spell Neely? How do I spell Neely?
Neligh.
What date? The 5th?
August 6th.
So yeah, you don't get a party in Cheyenne.
No, sir. I take off and drive.
So you hang out with that Ron Stone guy after the polls. You don't get up that early the next morning. Just a heads up on that. So.
Or you just don't go to sleep. Yeah.
Well, that's happened as well too. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The next week we go to West Point, Nebraska.
Hey.
Thursday, August 10th. We're actually they do Thursday night. They did our Heartland show last year, and then Friday they did the National Series.
Nice. West Point, Nebraska, Thursday, August 10th.
Yes.
That was a good track. That was a good track last year. I had a good time there.
Yes. And that we opened that we were the first pull in that new facility, and they did your guys the next night. It was phenomenal.
It was fun. Man, the crowd just kept, I swear the crowd just kept growing as the night went on. Typically the crowd kind of gets smaller, and I'm telling you, that place just went longer and longer and longer. So
yes. And if you have a runaway, you'll end up in the lake.
Well, at least it cools it off quick. So
yeah, right. Okay. Then Friday, August 11th, we go back to Hemingford, Nebraska, clear in the northwest corner. That's been another long time, 10 or 12-year pull with us.
Nice.
So Saturday, August 12th, we go to Palmer, Nebraska. And Jason, this is a pull that has got phenomenal upside. This Clayton Forbes called me, and he's like, I would like to put a pull on at my farm. And I did okay.
Yeah, that's what I just did.
And he threw the deal out there, and he wanted to make sure that I knew he was serious. And I mean, he backed it up. He hauled in. It was pretty sandy when I went and looked at it. He hauled in a 400-foot track. He hauled clay in, put guardrail up. And I mean, it was like this deal like you see in Wisconsin with, pulling into the cornfield. I mean, we were right next to a cornfield. He's got an old barn that he hauled into this place, a windmill. I mean, Big Iron, the auction company, put their tin up. They actually gave away free beer in the afternoon at the farm pull.
Nice.
I mean, it was this thing, when and if the word gets out, it's got a chance to be one of these destination pulls. And this guy's all in, and I mean, phenomenal surroundings, because you drive through his farmyard to get to this facility.
Oh, cool. That is cool.
It's we kind of didn't know where it would go last year, but the track worked in, and I mean, it's got a chance to be phenomenal.
Nice.
This thing could be full blown outlaw type deal. I mean, national series at some point in time.
Love it.
So, well, I'll tell you what, you and Ron got me in a pickle in this next one. I go August 17th, Thursday, to Imperial, Nebraska. It's been another pretty long time, good pull.
Don't blame me for anything that Ron does.
Because that night I was watching when they announced the third night of Wisner. I'm like, uh-oh. So we're going to be pulling in Western Nebraska the first night of Wisner.
Yeah.
So we'll be fine. I'm not worried about that. But after Imperial, then we go to Randolph, Iowa, August 26th. And then this year, the Nebraska State Fair moved up a week. It's going to be August 27th, that Sunday.
Okay, Nebraska State Fair, August 27th?
Yes, and last year we kind of co-sanctioned with the National Series, and we had one track at Heartland and one track of the National Series, and it worked out very, very well.
Awesome. And
then we finish up in Guthrie Center, Iowa, September 2nd. That's a new event, and kind of what they're working on is Gary Sabatka with the Rock. He puts on a pull in Diagonal, Iowa. Have you heard anything about that?
I have. I've heard a lot of good things.
I've heard it's an interesting deal.
Yep.
They're working on a deal to try to buddy up with them and try to have the 5-inch pro stocks. Both, like, that would be a Saturday, and then Sunday of Labor Day they would go to Diagonal, which that's going to be a great addition to our Heartland event.
Love it. Yeah, it's nice when you can piggyback them so that the pullers don't have to go so far for that next one.
I've been on the other end as a puller, and it just makes the travel worth it to hit more than one event in a weekend.
Yep, love it. That's a heck of a schedule. How many pulls did you pick up versus last year?
Without going back and counting them, I'm going to say there's at least probably 6 to 7 new events. So, and some of them come. I mean, it didn't come where I expected. There's been a long drought in central Nebraska. We've got a fair amount of pulling in western Nebraska and eastern Nebraska, but it's really, really neat to see, because like you look in that Ravenna area, it really got skinny, with Ashton's coming on, and Ravenna's been a long, solid pull.
Yep.
And then, boy, State Fair comes along. Next thing you know, we've got 5 or 6 5 or 6 hooks there. For Tori, they will probably not have the super fields in Guthrie.
Okay.
And the reason kind of being is most of our super fields are quite a ways away from that pole.
Okay.
So we just, rather than trying to expect those guys to travel quite a lot.
Yep. And that's fair to everybody else too.
Yes. Yes.
Well, cool. Janelle, can you hear us? Janelle, wave at me if you can hear me. Okay. She's ready to roll whenever you're ready.
I got 2 things I want to throw out that I'm really damn excited about. This weekend, I am, since I missed your guys' tune-up day there when you got all the cameras out and all that stuff in Rock Valley. I really wanted to be there, but I didn't have it in me to drive another 500 miles out.
No, I wouldn't have either. So,
but we're picking up a complete live stream setup, of which we're going to be on Outlaw TV. I'm sure there'll be a bumper bruise, but we're going to have a 1 camera setup, and we're hoping to get that all going. And I'm pretty darn excited about it.
It's gonna be great.
And also, we got a hand-me-down screen from Kurt that we're going to have a advertising board that we can do distances and different things on, and I think that'll be a heck of an addition for a group our size.
No, it's amazing, and it really steps up the professional image of the Heartland division, Greg. From that, and from you and I start doing these Wednesday night shows, which we are every Wednesday night now. Ron and I kind of started Outlawed Ron with just kind of a ha-ha, but then we started looking around, and the Outlaws were the only one doing a weekly show, and then I helped the Badger State Pullers as well.
Yep.
And now, I'm working with you. So, I mean,
we're
the 3 associations that have a weekly show and, talk about, if you want to say if it's happening in the Heartland division, we're talking about it. That kind of, current events, upcoming, and then it's fun. It's fun.
Yep. A little history in there too. Well, let's, I don't want to keep Janelle too long. I'm looking forward to this because, to be honest with you, I met her that last weekend in Arizona.
Janelle, welcome to Live with Lussetto.
How are you?
I'm just peachy. How are you?
Very good.
Good. Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, you're our guest. You get the spotlight, Janelle. That's how it works.
Get the spotlight. I'm always in the spotlight.
She drove that tractor in Arizona.
Yep.
I did.
Yep. I'm going to find some video. You guys start talking. So as a co-host, I get to go find video. Okay. So, Lussetto, you got to be Ron Stone now, but you're much better.
Oh, man, I don't have the hat for that. I'll work on that.
At least you're on time.
Yes, this is true.
Ish. Yeah, that's good for me. Well, Janelle, what I'd like to start off with is let's start current. We'll go back later to a little bit of history on you, but I would like you to go through, because this was a heck of a story of how you got the tractor, and it was literally like a week later, we're heading to Arizona to go pull.
Well, I've always wanted to get into this type of pulling. I had always done antique pulling my whole life. And, you don't get out of first gear and you don't go very fast, but it's a slow and steady process. So Evan and Dan kept hounding me that I should get this tractor. And Evan kept saying that I needed to get a 4010. And I'm like, no. And we went to Eastern Colorado and looked at a tractor, and just, a tractor is something that's really personal to you. You got to find one that really fits your fancy and fits your personality. And that one just didn't fit me. So then I was kind of disappointed, and Dan got on the horn, and Evan and I were off to Iowa in a week, and talked to Kenny Beeson on a Friday morning and talked to him about the tractor, told him a little bit about me. We both figured it might be a good deal. So Evan and I went to West Point, Nebraska there to the Maestro shop. And man, you get butterflies. They always say, diamonds are a girl's best friend, but I really think tractors are a girl's best friend, because I saw this tractor and it was just perfect for me. Janelle,
you just made like a million dudes just go, I love you, Janelle. I love you.
I have no effect on people. It's just me. So anywho, go in there. We see the shop. We see the tractor. And Kenny and his son were so great. They walked me through the tractor. I'm the type of girl that I don't want to just hop on there and not know what the heck's under the hood, what's going on with it. So they walked me through it all. And before I know it, he told me to hop up on there and pull it out of the shop. And he was up on there, and his son's like, no, Dad, you better get off. We don't know how she's going to drive it. So let the clutch out slowly, started her up. And it was was a feeling that I'll never forget, just to feel that rumble of that tractor. Pulled it out, loved the tractor. The guys at the shop were like, oh, you better let Evan pull it on the trailer. Better let Evan pull it on the trailer. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, if I'm going to drive this tractor, I'm pulling the tractor on. If I can't pull it on the trailer, then I'm not buying the tractor. So then, oh my gosh, we got to get to Arizona. So we hauled down to Arizona, and the whole way down there, Evan's kind of telling me, oh, you need to do this, Janelle, you need to do that. And got down there, and Dwayne and Evan and Dan helped me, and I jumped on it, and that was it. It just came like second nature to me.
Jason, I will have to say, and I talked to her just a little bit, and I obviously was running the sled, but she pulled up, lit the thing up first time, just like she'd been on it for 100 years. It was pretty awesome.
Great. It was awesome, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Usually the first time people don't, because at lower RPMs, it sounds like it wants to go and it doesn't want to go. But yeah, if you can, most people don't get it off the line the first time, Janelle. So
well, I'm a different type of girl, I guess you could say. we got it off the line, and she rocked it that night, man. I told Evan, I was like, I didn't even see the flagger. I just kept on going. Nobody stopped me, so I just went.
Love it.
Yeah. Yep. So no, it was a total rush, and it was such a neat feeling to do that, and it goes by so fast. Like, all of a sudden you're there. You see the green flag down below you, and you get it up to that 3,200, and off you go. And then before you know it, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool. And it was really neat when Greg let me ride in the sled to get the different perspective of it, because it's a totally different perspective in the sled, feeling that horsepower, than it is when you're driving the tractor, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's a picture from Pulling with Texas's Facebook page.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Yep, that's you, Janelle.
You know how you can tell it's me? Because I'm the only one that has a pink and purple helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I still have the name, the Honey Creek binder on it. I haven't found a name that I want to put on there. So Kenny said it was okay if I ran with that name, and it's pretty cool to run with that name on there, and have him watching, and he always gives me little tips and how to do things. So it's really just a cool experience with this tractor.
Are you planning to change the name, Janelle, or do you want to keep it?
I think eventually I will, but I just don't know what I want to change it to yet. So I don't want to just put a name on there and not have it suit her. And why do we always call tractors hers? I call it a her. I'm like, you got to talk nice to her. So I'll find a name and get it on there for her. But
so if everybody's watching, if you have a name for Janelle's tractor, please type. We've named tractors that pullers have kept on the shows before, Janelle. So
here's a funny fact. So I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner in my real job. So then I was like, well, maybe I could name it Doctor's Orders, but somebody already has a tractor named that. I don't think I'm going to be Doctor's Orders or Crazy Lady or anything like that.
It's really hard to find an original name these days. It's like most everything's been done twice
or 3 times.
Yeah. Right.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you what the thing I love about that story is she's not going to have a tractor unless she can load it on the trailer.
That's legit.
That's phenomenal.
Right? And all my life, that's how it's been, and no offense to the men, because men, you know a lot. I get it. We all know a lot.
No, we think we
Not
do.
all of them. Yeah.
Here's the funny part of it, though, is that sometimes people just think I'm another pretty face, and then they'll come up to me or start doing things, and I'm like, well, actually, you need to do it this way, or if you did this a little bit differently, and then it kind of takes them a step back. So they were just all worried that I wasn't going to know how to run this clutch, and I was going to ding up Evan's new trailer. And nope, Evan looked at me, and he just gave me, the come on in. So in I went. I kind of gassed him out a little bit, though, because I was going really slow up through there, and she was smoking pretty good in there. So Evan got a good face full of smoke.
Oh, that's good for him.
That's what
I want to kind of go back. And obviously I've known Evan for quite a while, but I would love to share a little bit of your history and growing up, because it sounds like you have you've been in the thick of things, no matter where you were with your dad and all this stuff, which is near and dear to me, honestly.
Yeah, I grew up on a ranch south of Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Still have the place, luckily, so kept it within the family, and my nephews run the place now, and we have an excavating business up there that they run. But my love of tractors started when I was just a small girl. I was the youngest of 3 children, and I really became like the tomboy of the bunch. My mom always wanted me to do some girly things, but I was always more outside with the tractors and my dad, and with whatever what he wanted to do. He was a mechanic, fabricator, welder, anything he could see or build while he did it by hand. So I was always out with him. Didn't grow up skiing, grew up plowing snow, grew up in the hay fields. We did a lot of custom haying. Started out with a 1940s Farmall H tractor that he bought, quote, new to him from Grand Junction, Colorado. And that faithful tractor plowed snow, cut hay with a number 5 mower. We cut hay with the number 5 mower until around 2015 when we got a swather. So it did a lot.
Hold on.
What?
Oh, this is funny. Look behind you.
Oh.
I tell you what, Jason, you can't make this stuff up, because I'm a little worried that your day job is going to come in very valuable hanging with the crew that you hang out with.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
I'm a legalized drug dealer, and people love me.
I love it.
I'm kind of crazy.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
You're right. You're right in the thick of it.
Yeah, I'm right in the thick of it. So when I was little, he'd put me on that H tractor, and I'd go around, and I couldn't go out of first gear, but man, I thought I was pretty high on the hog, raking hay in first gear all day long. And I learned to mechanic from him all my life, and never knew that girls, quote, weren't supposed to do that. I just did it because that's what he did. And we'd go out, and whatever we needed to fix on those tractors, man, we'd save all the spark plugs, because you never know when a spark plug is going to come back in handy. And probably
in Steamboat, you're probably not going to find a lot of those, right?
No. And here's the thing, growing up, well, it still is, we're 20 miles from the nearest Napa store. So it's not like you can just run in and get it. And then the other part is, if you go there, chances are they aren't going to have it, because nobody wants to have an older tractor parts around, that kind of stuff. So it was a little difficult, but we made do. We're out cutting oats in the evening with that H and the number 5 mower, and all of a sudden you heard a thunk, and the tractor stopped, and my dad limped it down the hill, and he said, I think we threw a sleeve. So we pulled the oil pan off that night, pulled the crank out, got the number 2 piston there, dropped it down, the sleeve came down out of it, threw some JB weld around it, popped it back up in there, and we were out going mowing hay the next day, and she's still running today. And that was years ago. So we really made do with what we had.
You shouldn't let Dan drive, you know that?
Dude, this is the best ever, Janelle. This is the best.
I think honestly, they're a little bit jealous.
Oh, I guarantee it. Okay, I got to throw something out there, because one other thing that you just touched on a little bit. Evan told me that your dad worked in a coal mine, which
he did. Yep, this gal is crazy awesome. I love her.
That's Kurt Van Beek, owner of the Outlaws.
That's the big boss too, Janelle.
Yeah.
Woohoo! See,
he said I wasn't on the first part of the show, but
oh my gosh, look at that! I'm on the first part of the show. But is this girl married? If not, she needs to meet Tim Blankerspore. I don't know who that is, but is he
the most craziest IH fan ever? Like he runs a social media for Thunder in the Valley, for Rock Valley. So
yeah. But so anyways, Greg, back to your question. Yeah. Great question. So yeah, that's what brought my dad. He used to work for H.W. Moore, and he was up on the roads, on Rabbit Ears Pass, in fact, on Highway 40. And he got a job offer out at Energy Fuels coal mine, and decided to move the family up to there. So he bought some land, and he worked up there for over, such a long time, over 30 years up there, close to 40 years in that coal mine. Changed a lot of hands there. He was anywhere from a foreman to the end. He worked in the tipple, managed the tipple. he was the type of guy, he was a big old Swede. So everybody always, his nickname was Swede. So he could swing a 16-pound sledge with one hand. And that man would go out there and work all day night at that coal mine. And then he would go ahead and come home and work on the ranch. He'd have me on that tractor and taught me how to run it in the first gear. And I'd be out there at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. before he got home from work, plowing with that little red tractor, that H, to make sure he could get in and, make sure the animals had their grain and everything. But coal mining was near and dear and still is to my heart. It really built that valley. It really propelled a lot of the ski industry with all the resources there. And it's a pretty cool thing to say.
Well, I'll tell you what, it got me thinking, and I don't know if you like Loretta Lynn, but you remember the old coal miner's daughter?
Oh yeah. My mom would get
that might be a great name.
Well, the first one, yeah. So Doug Meisinger, our diesel superstock champions, he came out with the first name. I got this, guys. Now that would look pretty cool on a side shield.
Pretty cool.
I got this, guys.
I like that. That's pretty cool. Cool.
So coal miner's daughter is another one. So, but I got this, guys. I like that a lot. That's kind of neat. You got confidence, Janelle. I like this.
I do. You gotta have confidence. Growing up all my life, I always had to fight my way into there because you run with guys, you run with these people, and you run with the automobile crowd, the tractor crowd. You got to know what you're talking about. If not, they're just going to treat you, no offense, but like some other dumb girl. And I didn't want to be that girl.
Good for you.
I can remember going into the parts store and they'd sit there and they still bicker with me sometimes if we get new people in the parts store and then they figure out that I know what I'm talking about. And then they're like, oh, okay, she's halfway smart. You get a different level of respect. And I knew when I bought this tractor that I was going to have to work my way up from the bottom and earn the respect of people.
Well, okay, one thing I want to say that I think is really cool and pretty important. She bought this tractor.
I did. Dang it.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, this wasn't like,
Oh, yeah, I did. And, that was the biggest thing. Man, I mulled it over. And I knew I wanted it so bad. And I'm like, am I making the right decision? Am I doing this for the right reason? And I thought about like, what would my dad say? And I thought, you know what? I'm doing this because if he was here, he would just get the biggest kick out of this tractor and watch me roll. And he would just be so proud. So proud. I don't even know what to say.
You don't even want to know what's going on behind you.
You know what the funny part is? You notice Evan stays out. He sends Dan. He's such a supervisor, isn't it? He sits back and supervises everything, and he stays out of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
No, so I'll tell you what.
I'm super excited, Greg. I want to try to get to as many events as I can. And I think it'd be really cool to see some more young gals out there and, to be a mentor to them. I'm a mentor a lot of what I do in my nurse practitioner days. There he goes. So I mentor a lot of students and nurses now, and I've always loved to teach, and it'd be really cool to get some more girls out there, some young kids, and learn about the tractors and see it.
Yep.
Greg, you have your new spokesperson of Heartland Division right here. Bang.
Yeah. I tell you the one thing too that, and you'll see this as you go on, but to me, there's a lot of pioneers in this deal. Sometimes it isn't just the young ones. And Jason, you got to help me here because I would be a terrible announcer, but I do not know how to say Connie's name with the gopher, if it's Mullinex or
Mullinex.
Like she literally, and I'll be honest with you, she's got a similar story to yours in a way. That lady farms and she is a worker, and it's cool to see her out there. Her husband goes along with her and helps. And, another one like my mom has driven full time since 89, and she just loves it.
She loves it.
So I grew up with this. So this to me is really cool to see what you're doing. And, I think it's awesome.
Oh yeah. I will admit when I was sitting on that line and I had all my gear on, I thought, oh man, I've got to make it. I've got to do this. I've got 8 seconds or so down that track and I can do it. And I knew as soon as I was revving it up and as soon as I was letting that clutch out, I'm like, oh, I got this. I can totally do this. Like, I got this. It's a tractor.
I tell you, the one thing that we need, in my opinion, need to get rid of is I know, and my mom went through this at times that she felt like she had to prove something, and that's the absolute wrong thing in the world. You know, you belong. And I mean, that's the same with any of them. It doesn't matter. That's one great thing, you know, about this sport is when you're driving a machine, it doesn't matter, you know.
No, it's fun. And that was one reason why I got the pink and purple helmet, because I'm like, man, everything on this tractor is, you know, red and black, which is great, and white. But I'm like, I want somebody to know that it's a girl. And usually
Yes.
pink and purple goes with a girl. No offense, guys, but usually it goes with a girl. We're just going to stick with
Absolutely.
that.
I got this, guys. I got this, guys.
I like that. You know, it's pretty good.
Yep, I like that too. Here's your run from Arizona. I'm going to play it if you don't mind.
Oh, no, go ahead. Oh, this was a good one.
Thank you to Pulling Texas. I borrowed this from his YouTube channel.
Oh, Dr. Binder, that's a good one. Oh, I love it when it does that. Yeah, that was fun.
And I believe that was night 2, but I mean,
That
she
was
drove
night
it that same way night 1.
That was night 2. Yeah, I think we're going to take some weight off the front too. See if
Oh, yes. Yep.
Well, it's your first time ever. I mean, you don't know. And then, you know, you don't know that track and any of that stuff. So,
well, I'm not going to know any track, so I'm just going
Right.
to have to go into it like anything and, you know, keep a good attitude and smile and have fun. Isn't that what it's all about at the end of the day?
it is.
Yeah.
You'll find out, and I think you already know this. 3/4 of the reason we do this is hanging out with like-minded people.
It's so true. That's the best thing about the Antique Tractor Club too. The Yampa Valley Tractor Club and the Saratoga, the one up at the encampment. It's the best thing is to hear the stories and build the camaraderie with those guys and hear how they used to fix things and the history of the tractors, and just to sit around and BS with them all afterwards and eat some good food. That's what's so fun.
So I do have a question about the antique pulling. Is that something that you and your dad did together?
You know, we didn't. He always wanted to get in it, and then after he retired, gosh dang it, then he got sick and passed away not shortly after that. But luckily, I have my nephews, Alan and Bruce, and they grew up just like I did with the love of the tractors and the love of the ranch and everything. So they decided, and I decided, that we should start pulling in memory of my dad and do that. We started doing that, and we still do it. And we have so much fun with it. You know, a lot of it is the competition between us three and seeing what we can do, if we can beat each other by 1 inch, 2 inches, whatever else. And I see Bruce just chimed in. So yeah, we have a lot of antiques on there. I think he forgot to mention the Shepherd 2D as well. But yeah, we don't care about color or anything or gender of a tractor. We're very gender neutral, and we like it all.
I understand. If you're hanging out with Dan and Evan, that's pretty apparent.
Oh yeah, look, how do you like this?
Yeah, she also pulled Mater. Do you remember Mater from
how do you like
Windsor?
that? Jason, that was the hardest pull of all, you know. On the track or not.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to make it down or not. So yeah.
I think the first time I saw Mater was in Windsor, Colorado, if I remember correctly. So.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. We had somebody say, "Hey man, we saw that thing in Apache Junction." And I'm like, I don't think so, but rock on.
Yeah. This isn't you, but this is just cool.
I know, that is cool, isn't it? Yeah, it'd be fun to get some more of those. And even like, I think there was some more trucks in there and stuff too. So that'd be good to get more of those involved as well. I think there's a lot of opportunities that can be grown and continue to grow with this as well.
Oh, absolutely. So I have another question. So you pretty much grew up in that Steamboat area?
Yep.
Craig, Colorado's not too far from there?
No, Craig. Well, from our place, it's about 75 miles. So, yeah, we go back and forth to there quite a bit. It's a lot more ag related. So we were down there quite a bit.
Did you ever go to any of the pulls that were in that area?
Yes, that's what the tractor club that we belong to. So that's where we go for the pulls down in there.
Okay. Well, some of the previous groups I was involved with, actually, we had big pulls in Kremling, Craig a few times, and Grand Junction, and it's been a few years. I just didn't know if you ever got to any of the bigger pulls.
No, we didn't, because if it didn't coincide with the smaller pools, we didn't. And here's the other thing, it's like
Sure.
when you're back home and you're on the place, there's always something to do. So
yes.
you spend more time working instead of
Uh-huh.
going out there and having some fun. And I decided, it's time to go have a little bit more fun in life. Working is
absolutely.
great, but we got to have some fun with it too.
Absolutely.
It'd be nice to bring some of that stuff back. I know for a while there we were talking about the Saratoga one and everything, but it'd be
Yeah.
cool to bring some back to that area.
Yeah. Well, and that's, there's interest, like even Grand Junction and different
that'd be
places.
great.
But I tell you, and Jason, we talked about this earlier. Our schedules are starting to get full, and we can only go so many places, and it's unfortunate, but there's interest.
But Greg, it's a great feeling to be wanted. I mean, when people are out there wanting you to come places, you're doing something right when they want you to come.
But it's hard to juggle everything.
Well, sure. I have meds for that.
Yeah. I'm going to leave that one alone. Yes. Legal drug dealer.
Yeah, that's why people like her.
That's a good name for it, legal druggie. No. Yeah, that was the first day I got that tractor.
You are from Colorado, and it's legal. Yeah. So what the hell?
Yeah.
Well, I'm working in Cheyenne right now. I work for Cheyenne Regional Medical Group. I'm actually that's what brought me to Cheyenne was the job. I used to have a private practice in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, and now I'm in Cheyenne. I'm starting up a new what they call embedded psychiatric program within the primary care and internal med setting.
So are you living in Cheyenne now then?
Yep, I am.
So you're calling that's.
Yeah, but it's close to home. I mean, my gosh, the way I drive, I can get there. I drive like I drive that tractor, so I can get there pretty quick.
Well, what's going to be interesting, if you guys keep this up, there's going to be a lot of tractors and trucks and stuff, pullers right out of Cheyenne, which is crazy.
I know, isn't it neat?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have our own little force,
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be like a cavalry. We'll have our own little cavalry coming out.
Well, you need to see what you can do to coerce your partner in crime there to get back on the seat as well.
I don't know.
Can you prescribe something for that?
No comment.
No comment.
I say no comment because I do have my reasons for my.
Okay.
I do need a nice trailer to haul my nice tractor in.
So you got to keep him. Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Duly noted.
Duly noted. Yeah. Yeah. My earnings that I won went towards his part of my trailer rent, the fuel, shop rent. So yeah, that's where my earnings go.
All right.
Yeah. But no, it's fun. So I'm going to get to as many events as I sure can this year.
Yeah. And Jason, I told her, and of course, Evan is originally from close to Rock Valley.
Yeah.
I told her she has got to get to that one with the super field.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's I don't know what you want to say, but it's a spectacle. It's quite an event.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's all just going to be so much fun. It just, I watch that video every day of me pulling just because it was such a fun experience and it made me so happy. And I just love this tractor so much. I come into the shop and talk to her and, polish on it. And yeah, I just love her.
There's more to come.
Oh, there is. You never know what the next one's going to be. That's what Evan said. He's like, oh yeah, pretty soon you're going to want this. And then you're going to want that. And I'm like, no. And then there's Dan's, Dan's tractor is pretty cool too. So maybe I need to get one like that.
Yeah. Well, let's get Dan going in a straight line here. He was all over the dang place in Arizona. So.
Yeah. Well,
it's hard to keep Dan on the straight and narrow period, but
it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. We might have to get like a chalk line or something that he goes on.
I'm sorry. I'm going to keep coming back to this. You can prescribe something for that, right?
I think I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? What do they always say? Can you fix stupid or not?
Oh, I did not go there.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I think we're in trouble now, Greg.
Do you hear my comedians over here?
I just hear laughing. I don't know if that's Evan or Dan. Maybe both of
Both
them.
of them. Oh, they're over here. They won't come
You
on.
can invite them. Why don't you invite them in? They don't have to bring the
why don't
bear.
we invite them in? Yeah, don't have to be embarrassed.
You want us to come in?
Yeah, we want you to come in, please. Yeah, here they come. Yes, here they come. Yeah. So are you happy now, Greg? The gang's here.
There you go. Got the whole crew.
Yeah, the whole crew. Yeah. Lauren did really good on that tractor too.
That's Dwayne.
Oh, he tested the whole track that night.
Sorry,
sure.
Dwayne.
Oh boy, we're
yeah. Dwayne's gonna. I can just hear what he's gonna say now. He's gonna turn back into a 2-foot tornado and rip around.
Oh, we're so.
Hey, you know what? You got to hang out with these guys and have fun.
It's like
we're. I'll tell you what. We're looking forward to you being on our, in our region series. The super field class, while it was a little skinny last year, we're going to be a solid 5 competitors. Which Jason for out west, we're thrilled with 5 tractors day in and day out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to it. Now, Evan,
no, I am too.
Someday we'll get you back involved, but
we got to make a mater class.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. Yeah, what if we got like hyped up golf carts and did those? That would be pretty cool.
Kurt's just going like this for insurance reasons.
Daniel can drive.
Daniel can drive. Did you hear that? Daniel can drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan, my building.
Any other questions, Greg, you have for me or anything?
Or how about Jason? Jason, got any questions?
Oh, yeah, Jason.
Jason, you're being quiet tonight. What's going on here?
Yeah, what's up, Jason?
I'm the co-host. It's my job to keep things on the rail. I love the bear going by in the background. That's the first time that's ever happened. We've never had a tow mater sighting on the show either. So there's been a lot of firsts tonight, Janelle. I've been impressed with this guy.
We get that a lot.
This is a daily occurrence when I come and see my tractor.
It's a lot of fun.
Well,
you come back.
If nothing else, we will have fun this summer.
Hey, Rocky Mountain Fever, that's a good one.
I like that.
Yeah, not bad either.
Not high.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't do any of that. I don't partake. I don't prescribe any of that. I don't partake.
You have
to get it legally. Why would you do that, right?
Bane of my existence.
Yeah, in Wisconsin, Janelle, you still got to get the bad back card, to get your weed.
Oh man, it's killing me.
Yeah, I had a couple.
It's tough. It's tough.
I know. It was so funny because when we first started out pulling there in Craig, there was an announcer, Mary B. New, and she was hilarious. And she always said, "Oh yeah, here comes our legalized druggie. I mean, our legalized drug dealer. Anything you want, just let her know." And so it took forever for people to realize what she was talking about. Like sometimes people would just be like, "What? She's a druggie? What
was her name?"
Mary B. New, N-E-U. Larry New was her husband.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I don't know Larry.
Yeah, Larry he had a diesel shop there for a number of years. I think he might not have it anymore. I know he was thinking about selling it, but she died a while back, unfortunately, of cancer. But he was great in the pulling and stuff. And he always had good stories. And he was from out in that area around, I think, Bridgeport and everything.
Yeah, he was.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, man. Larry always had some good stories at some of those tractor meetings. All of a sudden the meeting be over and we'd all go in the back room and have a sip. And then the stories would start flowing, and before you know it, it'd be 4 a.m. and you're like, "Oh,
Jason, you tell me she's not going to fit in."
No, she's already made a few hundred new friends. I guarantee this already.
Yeah, she might as well just start up the Instagram and start raking in the followers. Just
gonna be fun.
She's like this every night. It's nothing different.
That's what makes it fun, Evan. That's what makes it fun. So, what made you decide, to jump into 32 Superfield class? Is that a class that there's a lot of hooks around you, or because a lot of times you pick the class that you don't have to travel, 10 out. Well, you guys have to travel a lot more than I do to get the pulls. But what made you pick the Superfield class?
For me, I felt it was the easiest step into this type of pulling for me, going from an antique. I didn't want to get totally in over my head. I don't feel like I would have, but I wanted to do something that was still a little bit classic, and the 3200 just seemed the most classic to me. The minis look really fun, but I'm like, I don't really feel like I bonded with them as much, if you per se, but I just felt like that 3200 really just fit me the best. Not saying that in the future I won't want to move up or down or, grow my collection, but
Janelle, there's no moving down at this point. It's you. As a doctor, you have a disease now, and you're gonna have less money. You're gonna need to work more overtime, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
I just need to keep growing my patient base. That's all I need to do. Is grow my patient base.
I've always said there's things you want to get into, either road construction or medicine, people will do anything to stay alive. So I think you're in a good shape. You're in good shape there. Pick the right profession.
Learn CPR. Just staying alive.
She's dealing with the crazy, so
right.
Hey now.
Hey. They're right behind her, Lussetto. They're right behind her.
That's the pro bono work back there.
Yeah.
That's great. The pro bono.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good. Yeah, it's good. Hey, Greg, when are you going to send me my check?
In the mail.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, you got shop rent to pay? What the heck, Evan?
Shop rent, solar rent, fuel, photo opportunities I have to pay for, everything. Food.
We're full service.
What they say, nobody rides for free, right?
Yeah.
No such thing as a free ride around here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what. Yeah.
I gotta make money.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, Jason, I do have to ask: are you rolling into the California guys tonight?
Nope. This is our week. We're going to keep rolling. Yep. This is fun.
We're gonna have a 2-hour show tonight.
We might.
Yeah.
Janelle can talk that long.
We went 2.5 hours on Let's Grow Polling Live Monday night, so it's all good.
Oh my goodness.
I think you should go. Tom can get us dinner.
Well, Greg, how did you get into it?
Oh Lord. I really didn't have a choice. And in our family, my dad actually started in 71.
Okay.
I wasn't born yet.
Oh, you liar.
So young.
No.
So young.
I was not born yet. Literally, they started before I was born. And I mean,
So did you
don't
take
know any different.
Right in the womb or what?
Well, I would assume I would have been, Dan, I don't know how we're going to finish this story.
Go ahead. It's your show,
This
Greg.
This is a PG show, Dan.
Not after 8. Not after 8, Greg. It turns
I
into
remind you, Greg, you invited these two to join me.
Yes, I know this. But no, well, seriously, they got started in 71. And I mean, I grew up in it, and it was my best childhood memories.
Really?
I mean, we rode around in a single cab pickup with my brother and I, my mom and dad. We went all over, including pulling in Wisconsin that way, Jason. And, it's been a part of our fabric of our lives,
Isn't it fun? It's such a wholesome activity to do. You're around really good, solid people. And that's something that's, in all honesty, hard to find nowadays. Values.
I have said it different. I hang around with people just as messed up as I am.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah,
We all got kind of a problem, and we just all do the stuff together.
Yeah.
One big therapy session.
What about you, Jason? How did you get interested into this?
Dad. All about my dad. So mom and dad got divorced when I was in 8th grade, and then I moved to Wisconsin, and then dad lived about 2.5 hours to the south of me.
Okay.
And to get a kid, dad bought a D21 called the Joker from Mike LaBarge out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And it was just like back then they called it Super Farm, but it was a 3,000 RPM tractor, 20.8 tires, kind of like what your tractor is today, to be honest. That probably same horsepower or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, how else do you get a kid to come back every weekend to Iowa, to leave your friends and the girlfriends and in the sports and everything. And that tractor did it all for me. It was awesome. It was called, we kind of grew it together. I helped pay for what I could along the way. And then,
nice.
I always wanted my own. And then I don't know, then when social media kind of got jamming, I just always felt like pulling was so great because you meet great people like you. Why aren't more people doing it? And I knew that agriculture was starting to, there's no more small family farms and stuff like that. And I know that that's kind of how pulling got its start was you took dad or grandpa's tractor to the fair and you turned the pump up a little bit. And you pulled it. But that's what kind of got it going. So yeah. And I'm just obsessed with it. And
Jason,
I love it.
For me, looking back, it was the time I spent with my dad and mom. That's what matters to me now. And that's
my favorite memories, honestly, are the times in the pickup truck on the open trailer, driving to the pull and back. And the first time I took my wife down, my dad, back then there was always beer in the truck, right? Case of beer, and everybody's drinking in the truck. And Dad, my wife and I she was my girlfriend at the time. She's sitting in the back seat, and Dad goes, "Hey, Sarah, open the ejection window." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And the sliding glass door, and that's how he threw all the empty beer cans in the back. So, it was kind of funny and
different time for sure.
Yep. Sometimes some of my friends would say, is it a 12-pack ride? Is it a 24-pack ride? How long of a ride is it? Depending on the case of beer you had. So yeah.
Yep.
20 miles away from town. That's kind of a loaded question.
I know, right? Yeah, no, that's a good picture of the tractor there. That's a good picture. Yeah.
I borrowed it from your Facebook page, Janelle. So it's all good.
Oh, well, there you go. I was wondering that. I was like,
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. You probably can't see the emblem down there, but Kenny's pretty proud of that emblem on there. So I told him I'd keep it on there. And that was one of the stipulations that the question he had to ask me. If I believed in that emblem or not before I could buy the tractor.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. Yeah. Yeah. It's down there. It's down there. No, it's right. Oh no, go up.
It's on the side panel.
Yeah, right there. Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah, I can't zoom in anymore but I'm going to tell you, it says FJB, and I think everybody. I can't get that in any farther, but I think everybody watching this show agrees with that statement. So that's a good.
Yeah, so that pretty much sealed the deal with him when he's like, "Okay, now you tell me, what do you think?" So
I love it.
Yeah.
So, are we going to get to see? Is it possible that we see you and Dan head to a couple pulls in this summer?
I sure would like to. Yeah. I'd like to go to as many as they'll allow my tractor to go to,
Evan, there's a Cherokee, Iowa that could be coming up on the schedule. That'd be a fun one.
It is a fun one. I've been there. It's a great show.
Yeah.
Crowd's awesome. Bar across the street is phenomenal.
You would know.
Yes, I would. Mason Rick.
Phenomenal.
In there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a legendary picture from that night too.
Yes, there is.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I do not. I don't want to be part of any legendary pictures unless I'm number one.
I thought we were a legendary picture together.
Is that a good answer, Greg, with these two? Yeah.
I don't know if there is a good answer, but
help.
Yeah, help. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I really want to go to as many as I possibly can. So whenever there's room for my tractor,
awesome. I think you and Dan.
I think she committed to the points race this year, actually.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Yeah, I think
perfect.
Those guys have been noticed. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So tell me what that exactly entails.
The points? Well, they just like in Heartland we'll have an east and a west, and somewhere like in North Platte West, we keep a points total, of how you do throughout the year with everybody else, and it accumulates to the end of the year where the points winners got jackets and points money and stuff for the overall finish.
Oh, okay, nice.
Points champion last year got $10,000 check, so that's something you got to look forward to. Yeah.
There you go.
Really stepping it up.
Yeah, really up in the game.
Dan.
Yeah.
Slow down, Dan.
Yeah. And let me ask you this, how do you guys go ahead and get sponsors? I mean, obviously you talked about sponsors before, so how do you guys get that?
The biggest thing I found, Janelle, has been people That's where typically so in our world, typically you own a business and that's a write-off for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have the ability to write off with an LLC or an S corp or you bury it, right? but then typically it's people you know. I get questions all the time, like, how much should I ask for? And I said, you always start out with, a lot of times it's your local auto parts store, your local whatever. And hey, what do you want to do? I want a sticker on the tractor. I want, on the truck. Now with social media, now we can, ask about numbers and stuff like that. But for you, Janelle, you're going to have an advantage. You're a good looking woman. You're fun. And you're going to be able to go out there and push that around a little bit and draw some attention. Now, like, honest to God, like what Tiger Woods was to golf, what you're going to be to the Superfield class. It's going to be a draw. So you need a little if you want to see Janelle, you better book the Superfield tractors. And I think it's important at every event you grab the microphone a little bit, have a little fun, tease the boys. You're going to kick their ass.
You can tell I'm pretty shy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I do. I want you to grab the microphone and say, I'm going to kick all the boys' ass tonight. And the crowd will love that. They will love that. So.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Hi, guys. Oh. Hi, Dwayne.
For us on the organization, it's really it's and I view it as advertising, and I think that's how we have to sell it, is where we can bring eyeballs to people's stuff, and that's one great thing with like what we're doing here tonight. Also, what if we get this filmed and live streamed, that's going to be very important to reaching out and having more people see our product.
Oh, how fun would that be?
Very important to us, and displays, when we can arrange it, it's great to have a display, to have somebody go, like Titan Machinery has been a great part of our, our Heartland region. There's times that, if we get the right event, we could bring a tractor and display it for like one of their open houses or different things that would really, really be a nice, nice tie-in to our sponsorship that they give us.
So what I'm hearing is I need to get more PTO from work.
I have a feeling you can do what you want. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's, it all goes hand in hand. And if we, and our pullers have been very good at, helping along with, we're all in this together. And
so does Southern Wyoming Towing or Rocky Mountain Towing do any sponsorship?
They haven't yet, but I have a feeling we could hit them up.
Yeah, I think that might be a really great avenue to go down.
Yeah, we should work on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll ask my nephews too with Grouse Creek Enterprises. Yeah, since we do the excavating back home and everything. Yeah, I mean, all the way around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Janelle, what is your first pulling memory as a kid?
My first pulling memory as a kid. Oh, you're gonna love this. We have a WD6, McCormick WD6, and you guys will probably know this, and some of the guys listening will, but it was a tractor, of course, but it started on gas. You started it on gas, and then you flipped your levers, and it switched it over to diesel. It didn't have a pony motor or anything. It just switched it internally over to the diesel. So I thought I was pretty cool when we called that tractor Big Red. And my dad would put me on that, and I'd get to pull the harrow around the field. And the harrow is what we do in the springtime to knock down all the gopher holes, all the manure from the animals, any bumps in the field, just knock it down. So that honestly, as a kid, like that was my first memory pulling, because we'd always weight it down to get the ground as smooth as we could. And I'd always try to see, oh yeah, I can go in first. Well, let's see if I can go to second, third, fourth. So, I try to do that. And then when I started pulling, it was a little later on. My nephews, gosh, I can't even remember how old Alan and Bruce were. They were in probably high school, middle school, somewhere in there. And that's when we started, quote, doing our circuit with the antique tractors and doing that. And that's when we really saw, what we had with them and what we didn't have. And, just like with these bigger tractors, then it's like, oh, I got to get a new carburetor. Oh, I got to fix the governor spring. Oh, I got to do this. I got to get new tires, blah, blah, blah. And figuring out all this. So it's kind of a money pit too, but it's pretty fun.
You wait till Andrew. I saw him comment earlier. He'll get you acclimated with the dyno.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Oh hey, all I got to do is buy this part and this here, and he'll find stuff for you.
Oh, I'm sure. And I see Dwayne's hauling an elephant. Did you just see that? Now, how fun is that? I wonder if he'd haul monkeys. You think he'd haul monkeys? I got 2 of them.
Dwayne has hauled about anything, so I would say probably
Man,
yes. He's probably even caged to do it.
Speaking of Dwayne, what a really super great guy. Man, that guy was just so awesome to answer questions and to give encouragement and say, hey, Janelle, you watch me. I'll help you through things. He was just amazing.
What was that?
Yeah.
You got
Somebody
Dan, is there more people in the room with you?
No, I think that's in Jason's house.
Yeah, what are you got going on?
He's got kids.
Oh.
Or something.
Running behind me?
Sounds like a possible homicide in there, screaming.
I don't think so. Everybody's been pretty good so far. So
Yeah. So that's my first pulling memory. And then it was always, then everybody always seemed to get stuck, everybody. My one nephew, Alan, one year, he got 3 vehicles stuck in the field. He got our Super M tractor stuck. He got his Dodge pickup stuck. And then I think he got Little Red or another one stuck. But there was 3 of them down there. So, we're always pulling that stuff out. And you got to learn to use your clutch on that or what happens. So, yeah.
And now you're hanging out with Evan. I hear you go help on record calls now and all this stuff. That's
Yes, he actually finds out I'm quite talented.
She's pretty good at yanking cables.
I'm not.
We cannot take Dan anywhere.
You helped us that night yanking cables.
200 feet worth.
Well,
Yeah.
She's a trooper.
Yeah.
We sat and drank coffee while she was doing it.
Yeah.
Don't you love how the tails get taller and taller and taller?
with friends like these, we don't need enemies, right? Is that
Yeah.
But you know what?
Right.
I'll tell you what. They're pretty darn protective of me too with those pulls. They're like, hey, now you just watch out. Do this, do that. We're right there with you. And man, it was so nice to have one at the start of the track and then one at the end of the track to be the last person you see and then see a familiar face at the end. It was so nice. Those guys were so supportive. Couldn't ask for.
Here's a hypothetical question for you. Let's say Evan actually gets back on the track.
Yeah.
How's the competition go between you two? Will you take it easy on him?
Oh, come on now. What do you think?
That's the answer I was looking for. Yeah, just
She's mean. She's mean, Greg.
Yeah, you know
Don't
what?
let that smile fool you.
He can see that my tires. He can just look at the tires. That's all he's going to see. The back tires. Unless he gives a good sponsorship, then I might let him win.
There you go, Evan.
Oh, mercy.
Yeah, now see, that's Dwayne again. I'll get it right. There's Dwayne again.
She can keep going.
Yeah.
Evan, I see what's going to happen. You're going to sponsor her and then charge her trailer rent and fuel.
And then let Dan drive her.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he was saying he was going to make money too on some bets he was going to make on me or something.
Oh, well, full pull bets, man. It's not here yet, but we're working on it.
They can do some side hustles.
Next thing I know, he's going to have it like live streamed in Vegas or something.
So is that coming to the Heartland division, or is that just going to be a national deal?
It'll be once they get the really, the net across the national, it's coming all the way down to all the divisions.
Really?
So I would say, you talk to Chase, he'll say 3 to 4 years. It probably will be everywhere, would be his goal. But it just all depends.
The one question I have that will be interesting to get this answered is, some of our smaller classes, I see where it would probably be harder to bet on. I don't know, what they would do with that, but burn that bridge when we get there.
Yeah. Chase has been working on all the classes and getting them laid out. We've been on the phone going through all of that. But the biggest thing is like giving the bettors the information about each puller, because their app is going to be very, very in depth. Because there's a lot of people going to be betting on this that really don't follow the sport either. They're going to be going off like how they've done the previous weeks and stuff like that. So there's a lot of data, a lot of data that will have to be entered in to put pull something like that off.
It's going to be a lot of pressure on Janelle.
Well,
If you want
I'm just sitting back thinking about Evan's bio and what all they're going to put in it.
That would be fair.
Oof.
Hey, Janelle, what more do you need?
I got money on Janelle. Hey, there you go. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
He's from France too, so that's good. So,
Really? Oh,
Yep.
wow. Oh, hey, here's a question for him. Yeah, wee. Does he have
I gotta go wee wee.
does he start tractor pulling in France? Do they do that over there?
Oh,
Well, absolutely.
yeah. big
Yeah,
time.
I bet that would be neat to see.
You know, this is a little bit off topic, but Jason,
ahead.
did you happen to see the picture that Sasha put on Pull Off the other day of one of their events? All the people that were at that event.
It's insane over there. They don't have as many events, and they tear it up. I mean, just they're huge events, and they party. I mean, they hit it hard.
We don't understand. Yeah.
I want to go mad.
Their announcers are completely crazy.
Oh,
I mean, people, they're a hoot. It's truly entertainment. It's truly entertaining. It really is. So
A lot of music and, quite a different atmosphere.
Sounds like a really
Yeah.
that was my daughter Cameron. They were being loud in the other room, so I asked them to shut my doors.
Yeah, a little control over that, would you?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do a show here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't like tractor pulling as much as I do. So.
I've noticed.
Yeah.
So Greg, what
Yes.
do your kiddos want to pull? Do they want to do anything different, or they just want to stick with what they have?
I'm going to tell you right now, Dad's going to watch a lot this year,
Oh,
more than likely. Yeah, because Zach's going to be driving full time this year. Something I don't know exactly what, and Jazz. I don't know where to start with this, but Jazz is my daughter. She's 25, but she pulled the tractor behind me quite a bit. And,
wonderful.
locally, I think she'll probably still pull it, but I don't know if she'll try. She's got 2 kids now, so it's going to be a little harder to do some of the Wisners and, some of the long trips, but she'll still come some. So
Gotcha.
we'll kind of bounce around and, see what vehicles go to the polls.
Well, I got a kick out of Zach, man. He's a mini you, that's for sure.
I don't know where to go with that, but yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to.
Yeah.
You can talk to him.
He loves driving, and he's done pretty darn well at it for.
Oh, you can tell
Yeah.
he just loves it, man.
Pretty
The
at home.
crowd
Just like
that
the-
night when we were in Chandler, they just went berserk when he took his helmet off there. They just whooped it up for him. They just loved it.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh, Zach has the disease. Yeah, he does.
Oh, it's been a long time coming. Yeah.
Love Dale.
This
Love
might be
Dale.
one of the only diseases that I can honestly say as a practitioner that's okay to keep giving.
You don't need a cure. You don't need a cure, Janelle.
What?
You don't need a cure.
I don't think we need a cure for it now. I think we'll
Just the treatment going.
Yeah.
Captain Morgan.
That's
That doesn't hurt either. No. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this has been a really great time. I so appreciate you guys, Greg, reaching out and
Yeah.
wanting to do this. I really enjoyed it. So thank you guys so much.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I after the weekend, I wanted to introduce you to the pulling world, and it isn't or maybe I should say it the other way around, the pulling world to you.
Yeah, right. I'm
Because I think this is going to be a great kickoff, and to be honest with you, this is what builds excitement even for our small pulls. Is the personalities and stuff. It's what makes this thing go.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? That's a good thing about that tractor. It's a big personality, and I'm a big personality. I know I'm a lot. My voice will carry a football field. Believe you me, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You ought to hear when she's yelling at me.
I have once or twice. No. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this was a great time. I sure do enjoy it.
Oh, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
And,
So,
I'll tell you
We have a
what,
couple
I'm
of
ready.
questions.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So this is kind of what we do. Hold on. I lost my screen. I got 4 screens in front of me. Give me a second here. Can you guys, is everything still look good on your end?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh,
You
that's
look
why.
better, actually. You're fuzzy.
If you could put a cartoon character, Janelle, this is a new question. Pick any cartoon character to put on the side of your tractor. What would it be and kind of why?
A cartoon character.
Kind of think of the mood, kind of think of you, kind of feel it out a little bit. And for everybody that's going to be on the show, this is going to be a question we're going to ask everybody now. This came out Monday night when we were interviewing Sean and Shelby Knopp from Bloomfield, Kentucky. They're building a brand new light limited super stock with 8N sheet metal on it. And she's big into And it has to have a cartoon character on the side of it that kind of fits, their team, their family, something like that. So what would be somebody, Janelle, that would fit your personality or who you are or something like that?
Well, at first I'd say, like Pebbles and Bam Bam, because yeah, no, because I'm kind of fruity like that. But I don't think that would be quite there. I'd have to say the Tasmanian Devil.
Yep.
Just because I'm a little bit of a whirlwind. Hey, I kind of seem to cause a stir wherever I go. Yeah, no, I don't have a megaphone. I don't need.
Wasn't there a Tasmanian she devil?
Yeah.
I think there was.
Oh, new gender appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes, I need
now,
one.
Give it to her. No, she don't need one.
I do.
Love that.
I do think I want to hear Jason answer this question. Did you answer it the other night?
Yeah.
I haven't thought of it yet, but probably like a foghorn, leghorn, or the little chicken hawk. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Just growing up as a kid in Iowa, we had like 2 channels, right? So it was like, and that's if the antenna was just right and the TV was set in the right way and the sun and the moon and everything aligned. But I think that would be fun. But I would think probably, I say boy. I just love that. I love foghorn, leghorn.
Well, you know what? I also kind of like the Roadrunner. Beep, 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 beep. Yep.
No, but the Tasmanian Devil, I would say fits pretty good there.
I think so too. Yeah, maybe I'll get like a little mini Tasmanian Devil and put on there.
Put that next to the FJB.
Right? That'd be great. I need to do that. Yeah. So I'll have to go back through and look at the names that people put on there, and at the next show respond and stuff too. So
Evan, can you put some purple lights under the hood so when at night you flip a switch?
Yes, I love that idea.
Some mood lighting, yeah.
Okay, let me tell you something. Evan is
He's not good mechanic. What about Dan? Can Dan do it? No.
Yes, I can.
Okay. So, you know more about tractors than I do, Janelle. I gotta hire people. So it's all good.
Yeah, we can always take it back to Andrew Meister. I'm sure he would love to have some more work.
Yes, Andrew he'll take your money. Just leave a blank check there, Janelle.
Ooh,
like a line of credit.
That's what Dan said. Dan came back, and he was a little thinner when he came back from that shop.
He had a bounce in his step though.
Oh, he did. Let me tell you what. Yeah, that tractor bounces along, huh?
Well, that's not exactly what I meant, but true. Yes.
Yeah, he got a little bit there, didn't he?
Okay, and then the second question. This is Ryan Rusink's question. We've been asking this forever. If you could drive anybody's truck, tractor, whatever, from any time, either modern or in the past, and you don't have to worry about breaking it. Like if you have a 4-engine mod, you don't have to worry about breaking it. If you do break it, it's not your problem. Whose would you drive and where would you take it? It could be anybody's tractor to any pole in the world.
Well, I'm kind of partial to Dan's tractor because eventually I'd like to get a tractor like that to do it because it looks hey, yeah. Because I think it looks so fun and it's just so powerful. So I would do that. And how about Australia? Let's go down under.
Well,
nobody's ever said Australia.
Yeah. As long as she pays for it.
Yeah, she pays. We're going.
Yeah, we're gone.
Why not? Go down
I'm
under.
Tell you what, we need to hear those two guys answer that same question.
I do. I agree. Dan?
When I was a kid, the tractor I loved was our Fonz Monster. And I would say it'd have to be Bowling Green.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Pretty atmosphere, and I kind of know a guy who likes to party a lot, so.
The Sandwich Fair, no, never. I didn't know there was a Sandwich, Illinois.
Yep, just outside of Chicago.
Oh, that'd be kind of fun.
No, we haven't. But
Evan, yourself.
Evan, what would you drive?
Yeah, man, that's on the spot. I'm gonna
Really
go
had time to
since
think.
old Kenny Hoff passed away. Kyle Hoffman's granddad just pulled a 60-30 back in the day. That one can't. I'll probably do it in Westfield.
Okay, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
The one I want to run now, though, is Gary Whiff's Deer Fever.
Yes.
And I will have him on my tractor this summer sometime.
That needs to happen.
He's getting called out right now.
Right now.
Jason, I'll tell you one small pastime of mine is I love the history of the tractors and where they ended up.
Yeah.
And we had 3 pretty salty tractors back in the 70s here in Bridgeport, and I've tried to track them down, and so, but I also follow other tractors, just like his tractor used to belong to Gary Whip. And I mean, I've got pictures of it pulling in western South Dakota, like in the 80s, and then it went to Andy Dutton down in, was it North Carolina?
Yeah, he's out east. Yep.
And then it actually got sold to Billings, Montana, where it sat around for a couple years and nothing got done to it. And then Dan bought it. So it was just interesting to follow that thing, and there's several other tractors that, you can't believe where these things all end up.
Sponsorship. I'll get sponsorship. That's what's all about, sponsorship.
No, he bought a shirt from a guy in Australia.
Yeah. So shipping a tractor would be expensive. So yeah, sponsorship to ship the tractor.
All jokes aside, in 2000, I think in 7, we went out to the West Coast Nationals in Tulare, California, and they actually shipped out the Green Monster tractor from Germany.
Really?
And I was blown away. At that time, it was like between $3,000 and $3,500 for that container to get to Germany to California.
Yeah, it's gone up some.
And it's like, Lord, it blew me away. I thought it'd be way higher than that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, it would be fun.
May have been damaged a little bit when I got there, but
yeah.
Yeah. Greg, what would you do? Where would you go?
This would be some old school stuff. I maybe mix the old and the new. In the worst way, one day I'd need to win the lottery, but I would love to have an alcohol super, light super. I mean, that's where I would go if I could. And I'm going to say one of 2 places, and this is a little retro, but Hildreth, Nebraska, or the old State Fair in Lincoln. Those are my 2 absolute favorites.
Both good times.
Dan, did you ever make it to Hildreth?
Yep. I went, I think the last year.
Does Dan remember it?
Well, Dan was had to be a little kid, man.
Still.
No.
He was in the womb.
89 was the last year they had it, I think. Is that?
Maybe it wasn't Hildreth then I went to.
Well, that's the last year I believe it was Grand National.
Okay. Because I think McGuire and I went there one year. I swore we did.
Jason, you still kicking?
I think he lost.
Oh, he went to bed.
I think the kids finally got him.
Yeah, I think
they were plotting against him. That's why they shut the door.
He probably had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I was like, maybe he had to make a bathroom.
I had to go pee.
Jason, did you ever hear about the Hildreth, Nebraska pull? Or seeing the old videos?
No.
There is literally one oil road into this town, and it's south of Kearney, Grand Island area. And that thing, I mean, it is a tiny, tiny little town, and they put on a Grand National pull that was televised on ESPN in the late 80s.
Wow.
And I mean, that was a 2-track. I mean, it was phenomenal. And I mean, I got to see Gardner Stone to, Blake Grays were always there I mean, it was a who's who of the, of the 80s pulling. I got to see Connor's John Deere when it first debuted. It was very early on, the white John Deere. I mean, it was phenomenal. And the best part of one of the funny parts about it, they've got a sign leaving Hildreth that says, leaving Hildreth, please resume normal behavior.
That's great. I love that.
5 years ago, I was going through there, and I purposely drove the 15 miles into town just to see if that sign was still there, and it is.
So here's a question for you. In my line of work, what is normal?
In tractor pulling, that doesn't exist.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. That's deep.
Why would you? I'm not sure we would know.
No, right? None of us are.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of us are. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Todd Vaughn asks, what's the name of the tractor from Europe that blows black smoke with a Hemi on the front? It's this one. I don't know how to say the name. It's like sled something. It's illegal. They tore it down, but this thing is stupid cool.
That's, I love the variety and the crazy stuff that those guys do over there. It's kind of going away a little bit, but Man, 10 years ago, that mod class, you didn't know what you were going to see.
I like the light mod class of the Outlaws a lot because you're starting to see a lot of different setups and with the Allisons and then the 2 LSs and stuff like that. So.
Well, we need the Allisons are a thing that needs to stay in pulling somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's never a bad day when you hear an Allison run.
No, that's cool.
Ron Stone says, "Wow, you guys are full of hot air tonight." Well, Ron has the password to StreamYard. He can jump in at any time and join the show.
That's brutal coming from a guy that knows so much about it.
Yeah, we're probably. He's the king of hot air.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Last flower pot there.
Yeah, why do they have that there? It's like, stop.
It's a target.
Flowers, yeah, stop.
That's they built it in somebody's yard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I noticed in European pulls, the first pass is always the sled is always set light. They always let everybody make that full pull.
Yep.
Which it's kind of cool. And then they always set the sled heavier for the night session or whatever. But a couple of these times, that guy he's probably going 45 mile an hour right there. And he's nuts out of it. So
It's got to be we'd all like to do that once. We don't all get that opportunity back driving junk like mine.
Holy cow, we got Zuck Fukerberg watching tonight. That's Mark Zuckerberg's brother.
Yeah.
So from Facebook. He's a big tractor puller. It's actually Doug Voth from Texas, but he changed his name to Zuck Fukerberg. You guys could do the math on that. It's very similar to that FJB symbol on Janelle's tractor.
I am shocked for how many times he got kicked off of Facebook that one stuck.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
That's funny.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Well, Janelle, Dan, Evan, thank you guys for coming on tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you for the laughter. This has been a hoot.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find that bear.
Yeah, go find that bear again. So
Dan needs a girlfriend anyway, so.
Oh, love you too, Greg.
Yeah, anytime, Dan.
Dad.
Buck says that's his fourth account.
Yeah, fourth account. Well, honestly though, Janelle, thank you, and both Evan and Dan, thanks for popping in, man.
Thank you so much.
Good times.
Yeah.
You're gonna be an asset to the sport of pulling, Janelle. Thank you. So
Well, great. Well, anytime you want to have me on, I'm here. Just let me know.
sounds good.
All right.
Thank you,
Okay, have a good one, guys.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Holy cow, that is going to be fun,
Jason, had to get her on here.
dude. Well done. Well
I
done.
met her over that weekend in Arizona, and I'm like, this is going to be,
Yeah.
like you said, she's going to be a great asset to our series here. And I really think we'll see her out in the national series too. And that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome to see new
love
people get in the
personality.
sport.
Mhm.
It's awesome to get new people in. One thing, and I don't want to get too deep into this, but we have an aging population out here in the pulling world.
Yeah.
And we need more people involved, and it's great to see some new blood.
Yeah, I agree. Do you see how I got video playing while we're talking?
Yes.
So this is something they just rolled out, and it's nice because you were talking that I could play around with some of the setups and stuff like that. We're talking with Janelle. This is kind of cool, because I think people will enjoy this, seeing the video while we're talking.
Absolutely.
Keep the sound on us so you can hear us. But no, seriously though, Janelle's pretty. She's fun. She's got great energy. The sport needs more personality, and there's just a lot of just farmers that don't just kind of want to. They're not used to the limelight, if you will, or the being around a lot of people. They just kind of stick to themselves, and I think it's going to be really, really good to have some of this stuff out there.
We have some of the nicest people involved, and they don't want to be in the spotlight. They just want to go compete. But I'm going to tell you, some of the stuff that sells is the John Force and the personalities.
Some of my favorite pullers are like Jeff Hurt.
Lord, yeah.
Guys that they say what's on their mind. They jump off their tractor. They wear their emotion off the sleeve. Somebody wrote some rule that we have to be professional all the time, that we can't get mad. We can't show any emotion. But yet, that's what we love about NASCAR. That's what we love about drag racing is, when NASCAR, when a couple guys, when they run cars into each other, they're, hey.
Well, years ago when I went out and ventured out into Iowa pulling quite a bit, it was interesting seeing the rivalry between Dennis Goodwin and the Hendersons with the stray horse.
Yep.
And they got along fair, I'm pretty sure, but you could tell it was they didn't want to be behind the other one. It was
No.
fun.
No. And we need to tell those stories like that. We really, really do. And,
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
I think they're good for the sport. I really do.
Yeah. Well, were you around Dennis much?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm big fans of the good ones. Big fans.
Dennis was a larger than life,
Yeah.
fun guy.
So I got to do one of my behind the helmets with them up in Hutchinson, Minnesota. It's on YouTube, Greg, and it's very good. I'll send you that link. So
Yeah. No, good.
I will send you that link. No, I like these settings, how I can play with this a little bit while we're chatting. This is kind of
Yep.
cool. So hey, that background picture I've been using with you and that little boy. Who's that little boy? That's not Zach, is it?
No, that is Zach. Yeah.
Okay, so that's from a while ago then.
Yeah, that's been probably 3 or 4 years ago.
I found that on your Facebook page. I just love that picture.
Yep.
It's so
No,
cool.
that kid. Well, be honest with you, my daughter Jazz, she was a shadow. She went to pulls with me all the time, and and Zach's the same way. I've got other kids, but those are the two that really have a ton of interest in it. So, makes it a lot more fun to have them go with.
Oh, it absolutely does. Gives you a reason for all of it. So
Absolutely.
because we put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in all this stuff. So
Yeah.
well, Greg, this has been a great show. Janelle's a great asset to the Heartland Association. Seriously, if you're a promoter and you want to have a little fun, I would be booking the super field tractor. So Janelle's there because seriously, Lussetto, get her on the microphone and have her stir up that crowd a little bit. Boys,
Yep.
I'm here to kick your ass because a good announcer plays it up a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
I love Ric Flair. He's my favorite. Like, woo! He was on the Joe Rogan podcast in the last couple of days. And I listened to it on the way home last night from work. And they talk about the personality and the entertainment factor of it and stuff like that. So, take a little bit of that fun factor and Janelle can do it, dish it out. And all the guys know she'll just be having fun with them anyway. So
and I tell you what, we have personalities. It's sometimes it's up to us to market them.
yeah. Yep.
And
Gotta
sometimes that gets lost in just not having enough time to do stuff.
Well, like I'm going to send this link to Janelle and ask her to share it on her personal Facebook page after we get done and stuff like that. So that'll be good for people to see it. So
Yes,
good
sir.
job.
All right. Thank you.
So have a good night, everybody. Every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. What is it, 6 p.m.? You probably
It's
got some
6.
mountain people out there by you, right?
I am Mountain Time.
You are Mountain Time?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Oh,
no.
shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's all right. That's why I'm still kind of at work because by the time I get set up, it's
So is this a good time for you, or should we bump it back?
No, it's not terrible. I mean, the West Coast deal. I mean, it's good to keep that going because
Yep.
I want to see. I wish they could get stuff going out there. There's a lot of factions in California. Hopefully, they'll all get together someday.
They will. I had a good chat with quite a few of the promoters when I was out there in October, and I'm gonna do it in November. I think they see those. They're pretty excited. I was out there, just talking to them and putting some stuff on Beer Money, and there's so many big social media channels now with following and stuff like that. It's so good for the sport because everybody's got their own set of followers and niche, as I like to say, and having fun with it. So
well, and Jason, the pulling. I tell you what, we've been as a family. We have been a lot of places pulling, and their interest in you can't believe the people that go and do things. We've got good friends. My dad sold his first pulling tractor in just outside of Billings, Montana. One of the guys that bought it takes his motor home every year and goes to Toma, Wisconsin.
awesome.
You wouldn't think about it, but I mean, there's fans way deeper in places than what a lot of people imagine. And sometimes we need to wake that up a little bit.
Yep.
And make sure this next generation gets exposed to it.
Yep.
Best we can.
Sounds good. Great. Thank you for being Thank you for being the leader of Heartland, and thank you for doing this. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.